Alright, I don't know if this one will end up making it. One, because I've got music in the background, and two, because I don't know how well I can do this looking through a camera. I'm not going to look through the camera, I'm just going to try and keep it here. Alright, so it turns out you can't trace through multiple layers of fabric and adhesive through a light box. So I'm going to give this a go with the design here and an attempt with the right colour thread, because I actually didn't have the right colour thread when I looked back at the instructions, to see if I like this better. So I'm doing French knots. Am I doing them correctly? Based on that. Oh gosh, I genuinely don't know, and I don't think that was correct. That's not how it's supposed to look. Yeah. What do I do? I think I'm gonna have to cut this off and already start again. Can I save it? I don't think I can save it because it's a knot. I'm just gonna cut this off and start again. Screw it. Cut it off and start again, Amanda. I don't know what I did then. This is what happens when you try and do it on the camera. I also don't follow any embroidery instructions in terms of the end of my threads. Oops. And I just continuously knot them until it's big enough that it won't pull through. All right, let's go back. Let's pull this out. Let's try a French knot again. Now you can see why I have not made any progress on the stitchy quilt. And now you might question my sanity for having so many stitchy quilts to be made in my piles. I have a thimble, I should be using it. Okay, we have our first French knot, yay. Oh, where are you? Maybe I go there, it's better. Can you see? Yeah. So the instructions, I must have gotten my list wrong in terms of the colours. So the brownie colour is definitely not what I was supposed to be using, which is good because I didn't like it. So I'm supposed to do a bunch of lazy daisies and French knots. Oh gosh, I've picked like the hardest spot on this thing to push it through on. Oh, I'm gonna have to get my little, there we go. The reason it didn't look like the picture, you can even see the picture, is because I had the wrong colour. So I wasn't enjoying it. And it didn't look nice, like the picture nice. I'm going to try these. I've been doing these with a 4, these two. I'm going to do the next one with a 3. Oh look, I've already got a knot in one. It's fine. Everything's fine. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, didn't like it. Wasn't going to play with it. It's going to leave it till the end. Yeah, okay, I should not do whatever I'm doing when I do that, because these don't come out well. You know what? I'll just go through it and pull it down. I'm not starting again. So yeah, my hand stitching skills, as you're about to see, are very bad. That is what that is. Yeah, I'm not good at it. I'm not neat. I haven't been doing it for many years. Like I see the pretty little crafters. So if I hold it down, I think it goes better. 1, 2, 3. Back in the, oh gosh, nope. 1, 2, 3. So one of two things is going to happen. Quilt's going to take me forever. Is that going to work? Okay, that's better. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So basically I just have to pepper this with knotted thread. French knots and lazy daisy stitches, which seems very, very straightforward. But given my first attempt, it wasn't straightforward. I have a really big knot. Somewhere I have a little tool that just magically undoes these knots. The fact I said somewhere and not in my hand is probably a testament to wherever that tool is. I've probably had too many knots and just given up on them. Yeah, I'm gonna pause it for a second. All right, I'm back, and this is the tool. I went and found it. It's in the teddy bear quilt box. I don't know what it does, but it's magic because it just took me a second to fix that with it. So we should probably put that with our stuff. All right. So we're gonna try 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and then the next lots we're gonna try 2. I also tried hooping this. And what I've learned is hooping for me is good. I'm going to try 2 next. Hooping is great for cross stitch for me. I hate hooping for hand embroidery. So I'm going to do a heap more, but I'm going to try the lazy daisy here. And apparently it's got to be small. So what I have to do, I have to go back in the same spot. Go back in the same spot, yeah. Yeah, and then I go around it. I'd be a really bad embroidery teacher. So hang on, I wait till I have a hoop. That's right. Are you moving in camera? Yep. And then I gotta make these much smaller than I did on the last one attempt. Yeah. I pull it back through. And then go back into the hole. And then back through the center. I'm gonna need my glasses to do this. And then go back into the hole. Don't let it twist like I just did then. And then go back into a teeny tiny hole over here. Maybe a bit bigger than my first one. Let's see. I think I need to pull out my glasses for this. And then pin it back down. Alright. I'm going to make my knots smaller. These, I've got my pointer, I should get it. I'm going to make these smaller going forward. I'm going to try 2 next. So we go like this. Back into the same hole. Hold our thread to one side. Untwist our thread, that's important. I learned that the hard way on the other ones. And then, gosh, I'm just gonna hold it. Yeah, this is terrible to do on camera. I don't think you're gonna get much stitches. Through the hole. If there is a better way to do this and someone other than Mum sees it, because Mum doesn't do much hand stitching, like hand embroidery, can you drop me a link with someone actually sewing, not just here's how you do it, but someone actually going, here is how I do a stitchy quilt that takes for friggin' ever without losing my marbles. I also found this is not a quilt that I can do drinking. I can do all other quilts drinking. I cannot do this quilt drinking. All right, we've got 3. We're getting increasingly bigger as we go, which is not the idea. So I'll have to make that smaller. I go back in my hole. Try not to stitch the front and the back together. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go here. And then, oh, we've got crowded house. Oh, that was stupid. Let me, don't pull the thread through. The needle, you need the needle. Now you can see why A, this takes forever, and B, I don't even think I was on camera doing that. Why it takes forever and why I'm not very good at it. At least this color is better than the brownie color we had. All right, look, it's doable. Is this going to take 5,000 years to finish? Yes. Yes, it is, Mum. Am I above giving you a half-finished quilt? Really not, actually. That fate may be... Gosh, I don't even know where I'm going there. That fate may be... Well, that's cute. All right. You're still probably going to get a half-finished quilt. Okay. So, apparently, the instructions are, which I've reread, is do the French knots in this colour and do a lot of them. And then do some more blossoms, the lazy daisies, in this colour. And that should make this nicer. So I'm going to do, I'll try this little case is cool. I got it, oh, you can't see it. I got it from Temu. It had a sewing kit in it and I didn't want the sewing kit. But it's a nice sort of size for carrying around the house or travelling with if I want to bring this with me. I'm so, acutely aware I'm going to be in this for the long haul that I know I have to travel with it. All right, I'm going to try. I think I'm going to do the mixture of the colours so that it looks less dense. So I'm only going to do a two-turn French knot here. I'm going to see if that looks a bit better. So 4 is way too much. 3 is still big. Yeah, I think I'll do 2s. So I think if I do a mixture of peppering this with French knots and then doing the blooms in the other colour and then sort of filling in the gaps with alternating colours, I think it'll look better than it did before. But it's a long way to go, and so this is what I'll be doing. Yep. The other one still hasn't dried because I literally only did earlier today. So when that dries, I think this one will give me some motivation. And the colour came out, look, I still have this problem, but I don't have it anywhere near as bad as I do in this one. So look, it'll be a journey. I'll give you updates occasionally. Like, this isn't great content. I don't think there's any more appliques. I wish I had filmed it for the applique because that was cool. What will I do to find you an applique? Because I need to do one. I need to show you that for the bottom of the quilt. I'll have a think about if I can find an applique. Yeah. All right, bye. All right, so I kept going after I stopped the camera before, and I did get into a bit of a rhythm, and 2 things I did differently is I switched to these little grippers, which are a Temu purchase, so I don't know how we're going to get a link for those, and I stopped trying to do everything all at once, so I stopped trying to follow the entire pattern. So in stopping that, I'm just doing the French knots, and I'm only doing 2. And I'm just kind of peppering them all over, and then I'm gonna switch to the other thread color and do a couple of lazy daisies here and there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep alternating. Rather than trying to follow the pattern, I'm gonna just build up the design because I feel like that's less daunting for me. And if I zoom in a little bit, I don't know how well you can see it because I can't quite see the camera. Yeah, not as daunting for me, and it sort of takes shape that's a little bit cool, and so doesn't put me off as much. Oh, I'm getting a phone call, so bye.